Hi, I'm Professor Dart, and this video is here to help you figure out how to navigate your way around MyStatLab. When you first get to MyStatLab, it'll probably take you to our course homepage, and it should look just like this or similar to this, because mine, of course, is the instructor version. But over here on the left is what we call the navigation bar. You can hide that if you want to make the work you're looking at a slightly bigger screen, but I like to keep it open. Course Home is a nice quick snapshot. Little calendar at the top here shows you what's due when. It tells you when certain assignments open, and it will also show when assignments are due. Like right here, Monday, February 28th, a whole bunch of stuff becomes available. If I click back over, you see this little icon here that's like a clock that these assignments are all due on that day. What to work on next. So again, just a little snapshot, your overall score and performance up to that point. Before you get into any of that, and we'll discuss it a little bit more in a couple minutes, I would highly recommend that the first place you go here is to the Welcome and Course Information page. These couple of items here are good references. So our course outline, if you need to go back to that, the course schedule, which is so important that it even has its own heading on the navigation bar, a document on how to, just some of the things to look for, and advice from former students, the 12 questions, those things you should have seen in Blackboard, but they're here as well for your reference. This link here, what do I do in MyStatLab? That's the link to this video, so you've probably seen that already. And then from here on you have two options. So when you're logging in to do work, you're going to want to go to one of two places, which is either the interactive assignments page or the homework quizzes and tests page. Now the interactive assignments page, you can go to the first chapter or whatever chapter you're working on and click on the section that you need to do, and your interactive assignment and section homework are here. So you can go through it like that, but then of course after you finish all those, you need to get to the critical thinking quiz and the exam. So what most students have told me they prefer to do, I'm just going to go back to the main page, is to work their assignments from the homework, quizzes, and tests page. So over here on the navigation bar, you'll see HW for homework, quizzes, tests, and essentially what this does is it gives you a list of all the things that you should currently be working on. So your interactive assignment, once you complete the interactive assignment, then you can do the section homework, do the next interactive assignment, and then do the next homework, and so on and so forth. And then after you do the section 1.5 homework, well really after you do the section 1.5 interactive assignment, you'll have access to the critical thinking quiz. You'll notice if I try to click on that here, it says you can't do this yet because you haven't done the interactive assignment. So you won't have the option to bypass that, just me. And so then there's a critical thinking quiz. So like I said, most students who I've spoken to after the course, when they've given some feedback, say that they like to work from this homework, quizzes, and tests page. Of course, on the course homepage, those things will pop up right there as well under assignments, so you can see them. I would highly recommend you go in order and don't jump around, and everything is linked together so that you really have no choice. So I'm going to go into, just to really quickly show you what the experience looks like, I'm going to go into, sorry about that noise, it's my phone buzzing in the background. I'm going to go into the first interactive assignment. It starts out by giving you just a synopsis of what you're going to see in there, a reminder that you have to have a certain grade on the interactive assignment before moving on to the section homework. So you're going to click Start Your Assignment. Interactive assignments are essentially a mix of reading, watching videos, and answering some questions. So you're going to use these arrows to move ahead. I'm using a PC, so it might look slightly different on a Mac, but hopefully it's the same flavor. And so you see here there's a video, so you're going to watch this video, and then you're going to click to the next page, and then you're going to have to answer a question. and so this is a multiple choice question. That's why we had that note. And so you answer this question. I'm not even reading it. I'm just clicking on it. This is similar to what the homework question boxes will look like. You, for multiple choice, you click on your answer. You click check answer. Oh, I made a great guess. Notice over here it said 2 parts remaining. Now it says 1 part remaining because this is an A and B question. It's multiple parted, so pay attention to the parts remaining. So I'm making another random guess. You, of course, would read it and hopefully select the right answer. If you get it wrong, it'll give you a little bit of advice and hopefully give you another shot. Notice it changed to final check because with multiple choice, if it gives you more than 2 attempts, then, well, all you really need is 4, right, at most. So anyway, so you would use that there. We'll look at question help when we get into the homework assignment in a minute. And notice right here at the top of the screen, it keeps track of your score. It tells you which ones you got right or wrong. Okay, so make sure you click save as you go through the interactive assignments. Sure you want to leave this? Yes. Okay. And so this summary page, if you start it and you don't finish, it'll let you know sort of where you left off and how well you've done so far. I'm going to click on done, and I'm going to open up for you just to give you a little flavor of the section homeworks. So section 1.1 homework, I'm going to bypass my way in. Again, starts with a quick summary. So this homework assignment has 12 questions. I would advise you to go one at a time, but if you start and stop, you can, if you get some questions right and you have some that you need to go back and fix, you can jump around and start at any question. So I'm just going to go to question 1. And this one looks like the same question as in the interactive assignment, but it's again multiple choice. Notice when you make your choice, check your answer. It says all parts showing. That means it's only 1 part question. From here I can jump around to any other question I want. There's going to be multiple choice questions. There's going to be computation. There's going to be numeric answers a little bit later on. Sometimes you're going to have to use mathematical symbols, so if you need help with that, please let me know. But what I want to point out, one last thing here, is under question help. Help me solve this is going to kind of walk you through the problem step by step, give you some advice, and then ask you to fill in part of the answer, and then give you a little bit more advice, and ask you for the next part of the answer. So it walks you through it step by step. View an example will take you to an example from the corresponding text, and you can see if that helps you figure out how to do the problem you're currently looking at. By the way, when you use the Help Me Solve This, because it's walked you through it, you're going to get a new version of the question for credit afterwards. View an example allows you to stay within the same question. StatCrunch is a program we're going to use a little bit later on when we get into the next chapter, chapter 2, and then for the rest of the course. So you've got a link to that within the homework questions. Tech help, if you're using like a TI-84 calculator or something, you have a link to that here. There is a small calculator within the system, but really with StatCrunch, and hopefully you have another calculator at hand when you're working the problems, particularly once we get into chapter 3. This is not the greatest calculator on the planet. Ask My Instructor is something that can be very useful for you if you've tried a problem, you didn't get it right, you've tried to Help Me Solve This, you've tried to view an example, and you're still not sure. Clicking on Ask My Instructor will essentially allow you to send an email directly to me with a link to the question. So I can, when I get the email from you, you type in a question. I don't understand, I tried this, not sure why that's not right. But put something there so I know what your experience with the problem is. And so then that'll send an email to me, and then it'll give me a link so I can go directly to the problem that you're working at. If you've entered an answer, I can see what answer you entered and try to figure out maybe where you're going wrong and give you some advice. And this is also very useful if you think you've entered an answer that's correct, but the system's telling you you're wrong. this is a good place where you can let me know that. So use the Ask My Instructor. First try the other help aids, but then the Ask My Instructor could be useful. All right, so that's just a quick overview of what you're going to be doing this semester in MyStatLab. Also here you'll notice a direct link to StatCrunch, guided notebook. You might want to print those pages out before doing the interactive assignments, e-text if you want to just go directly to certain sections, and then the multimedia library if you want some help on a specific topic in a specific section. You can select everything, and then gives you a bunch of different help aids there. So that's your brief walkthrough of MyStatLab. If you have more questions, just send me an email. That's the best way to get in touch with me. I look forward to working with you this semester. Good luck.